Doctor Who fans might not be getting a Christmas special this year, but honestly, the gap has been filled perfectly by the thrilling new spin-off, The War Between the Land and the Sea. And here's the wild part. After just 3 weeks of double-banked episodes, the full season has already wrapped up. All 5 episodes following Barclay, Salt, and the unit team are available to watch right now. But the big question everyone's asking is, will this spin-off continue for another season? I mean, some previous shows like Class only got 1 season, while others like Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures ran for multiple years. So what's the deal with this latest addition to the Whoniverse? Will there be a season 2? Here's where things get interesting. Unlike previous spin-offs such as Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures, The War Between the Land and the Sea is a story-led series rather than being centered around characters going on different adventures each week. This actually makes a second season less likely, since the show focuses on one particular incident, the re-emergence of Homo Aqua, otherwise known as the Sea Devils. There's also another important factor to consider. The show was commissioned and produced as part of the BBC's co-production and distribution deal with Disney, which has now come to an end. So whether the BBC decides to fund the series alone or looks for a new partner, it's possible that The War Between the Land and the Sea might remain a part of the Disney era only. What Russell T Davies says. Co-showrunner Russell T Davies actually addressed whether The War Between the Land and the Sea is strictly a standalone series in an exclusive interview. He said, "It's a complete story. It absolutely ends, and I will say, stay tuned for the very end. Keep watching." Now, this final scene could hint at some form of continuation, or it might just be something that caps the story off beautifully. Davies was quick to clarify, though, that doesn't mean that sounds like the Doctor appears. That's not what happens. But within the story, the credits start to roll. Keep watching. It's got one of the most powerful endings with the most amazing performance of one of this cast you'll ever see. Could season 2 still happen? Of course, if Davies and co-showrunner Pete McTighe did want to continue the series in some form, there are definitely options on the table. For instance, season 2 could focus on a new story for Homo Aqua, or the show could take on an anthology format, following new scenarios involving the unit team when the Doctor isn't around. We'll make sure to keep you updated if we get any news about the future of The War Between the Land and the Sea. But for now, we're expecting this will be one and done. Potential release date for Season 2. If The War Between the Land and the Sea were to return in some format, it definitely wouldn't be for quite some time. Here's why. The next episode of Doctor Who isn't set to air until Christmas 2026. After that, we'd imagine the next priority for Russell T Davies and the team would be a new season of the original show, likely releasing in 2027. So spin-offs might be put on the back burner for now, perhaps until 2028 at the earliest. Who could return for Season 2? If The War Between the Land and the Sea were to return in some form, it seems most likely it would be an anthology format, following a new story featuring the unit team. We could therefore see the return of actors like Russell Tovey, Gemma Redgrave, and Ruth Madeley, depending on how their characters fare in the finale. 2 stars who likely wouldn't be back are Alexander Devrient as Colonel Ibrahim and Colin McFarlane as General Austin Pierce, after their characters met a tragic end in Episode 3. Possible returning cast. So here are the cast members we could potentially see returning for a future season of The War Between the Land and the Sea, in whatever form it might take. Russell Tovey as Barclay Pierre Dupont, Gemma Redgrave as Kate Lethbridge Stewart, Ruth Madeley as Shirley Ann Bingham, Francesca Corney as Sergeant Hannah Chakri, Vincent Franklin as Prime Minister Harry Shaw. The War Between the Land and the Sea is available to watch in full now on BBC iPlayer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Doctor Who content.